Welcome to Engines of Mischief. Congratulations, you are a newspaper editor. You provide the news that keeps all of Manchester aware of the changes occurring in the city. You also help business people advertise their services, and you promote important political causes. This video will explain how you make money and keep track of it each game session, and how that impacts your lifestyle and class status. To keep these accounts, you must fill out 2 worksheets each game session. Each profession and social class has a different worksheet. First, you must fill out a Make Money worksheet for your profession, an editor. Then you must complete a lifestyle worksheet for your social class, the middle classes. You will use new worksheets each session, and if you change professions or social class, you will use different worksheets. Now let's go over how you complete the first worksheet for the beginning of the game, session 1. First, make sure you include your character's name and the session number at the top. Then you have to figure out how much money you earned. You earn most of your money by publishing a newspaper. You get a regular salary from the owner of the newspaper. You get this salary every session no matter what. So you will always fill in this box with your salary of 50 shillings. There are other ways to make money, but this is the first session, so let's assume that you didn't make any other money. You just earned your salary. So what you do is you add up your salary down below. We're assuming you didn't earn any money from anything else, so you put a 0 in that box and you add them up to 50. We're assuming you haven't spent any money, so you end up with 50 shillings. You put them at the bottom and then you put it at the top. You also don't have any savings. Now you have to determine how you can live based on how much money you made this session. In other words, you have to figure out what your lifestyle is like. You will use a determine lifestyle and status worksheet. Again, make sure your character name is at the top. Don't forget you have an income of 50 shillings. This makes you a member of the middle classes. But there are 3 levels in the middle class, and you have to see which one you belong to. These levels are based on income earned by the person each week. So clearly you don't belong to the upper middle classes because they earn at least 1,500 shillings a week and you only make 50. You also don't belong to the middle classes because you would need 450 shillings a week to belong to that class. You are in the lower middle classes. These are people who make between 50 and 449 shillings per week. Now let's see how to fill out this worksheet. You begin filling in the boxes for income. With your weekly income of 50, you have no savings, and your total income is 50. The next thing you have to do is buy necessities. You have to do this each session to be considered part of your class level. You have to eat a certain way, dress a certain way, and live in a place that makes you middle class rather than working class. So this includes the food, clothing, cleaning supplies, furniture, and other household items, as well as rent that you must pay. And this adds up to 50 shillings. The pictures on the right give you a sense of how you live on 50 shillings. You don't actually have to buy anything in the pictures, they're just an illustration. It would be nice to buy some luxuries in addition to necessities. And if you have any extra money, you can do that and you fill out this row for luxuries. But you need at least 130 shillings of luxuries to get a status point. Luxuries give you status because they show that you are better off than other people at your class level. You are a higher status than everyone else. But in your case, you would have to spend at least 130 shillings on luxuries to get that status point, and you have nothing left over. So it is in your interest in the next session to think of ways you can make more money. So let's look at ways you can make some more money. Let's imagine this is session 2. And again, you've put your name at the top. You earn money from sales of your newspaper in addition to your salary. You earn 50 shillings every time you publish a newspaper. But that newspaper has to have at least 5 items of copy. These copy can be speeches or articles or letters written by other players in the game. You will have to go up to them and ask them to send you whatever they've written for publication. Remind them that they may earn status point if their article is published and the publican, if he is in the game, chooses it as the best of the session. You can also include your own writings, gossip that you've gathered, or news of the goings on in Manchester, like a wedding, an opening of a factory, or laws passed in town hall. When you put all of this together into an exciting newspaper, you send it to the game master, and then you earn 50 shillings. You also get money in some other ways. So, for example, if you publish your newspaper and the publican chooses it as the best newspaper of that session, rather than the rival newspaper, you will get 100 shillings. Because your newspaper is so popular, that increases the sales of the newspaper, and that gives you that amount of money. Other ways to make money are by selling advertisements in your newspaper for machines or warehouses for rent or new factories, even for weddings. There's a standard price for an advertisement. The game master will give you or display a market conditions board, and on it it says that a newspaper ad, the market price for a newspaper ad is 20 shillings, but it is negotiable. You could try to make more from your ads if people are willing to spend more to advertise their products, or you can have them pay less for their ads if you want more ads. So what you'll have to do is put the name of the purchaser and what type of ad it is. In this case, it's Craftsman Roberts. He's advertising a steam engine for sale, and then you put the price there. Once you've done all of this and you've gotten enough advertisements, you add up all the money you've earned. So from your newspaper, you've earned 200 shillings. From advertising, you've earned 25 shillings. That adds up to 225 shillings. We're assuming you haven't spent any money, so you end this session with 225 shillings, but no savings. Now let's see what this has done to your lifestyle. Again, write your income in the boxes at the top, and you end up with a total income of 225 shillings. Your expenses are still 50 shillings, but what this means is that you have 175 shillings left over, and you can buy luxuries. In fact, you can buy 130 shillings of luxuries, and if you decide to do this, you put minus 130 in the pink box above. Then you have 45 shillings left over, and that is your new savings. You put a 1 in the yellow box to the left to indicate that you have earned 1 status point by buying those luxuries. And then you fill in the bottom row, which just adds up your status points. So the one you just earned was for your lifestyle because you bought luxuries. There may be ways to earn other status points, for example, in town hall if you give a really good speech. You would also add any status points you earned last session. In this case, we'll assume you didn't. And then you add them up. So you end this session with 2 status points and 45 shillings in savings. The next session, let's say it's session 3, you will include the savings from the previous session in this box here. In this case, it's 45 shillings. But you do have a choice in the previous session. You don't necessarily have to buy luxuries and earn a status point in that session. You could keep all your money and save it to invest in future operations. So for example, instead of 45 shillings, you could end up with 175 shillings in savings if you decided not to buy luxuries. So keep thinking about ways to make money. If you do well, you could move up a class level into the middle classes. If you can afford 450 shillings in necessities, you move up from the lower to the middle classes, and you also gain 5 status points. If you do really well, you could even jump up into another class, the upper classes with the aristocracy, and you would gain 10 status points. If you end the game raising your status at the same time as you keep the residents of Manchester well informed of what's happening in their town, then you've proven that you have adjusted well to the new industrial economy, and you may win the game. Good luck.